Yeah, we are connecting to the cloud server. Click OK. Done. Finish. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Well, even though in my hometown now, I just electricity down for 30 minutes. Finally, I can online. And since it is online, I'm not worried again about the battery of my laptop. Here is good news. And it seems in Natalie's sides, the same thing's going to happen. I don't know, is it correlated with the new president in Indonesia? I don't know, but it's what's happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be acting sergeant at arms. And I would like to ensure that all the meeting is already settled. Role takers are already available. And we have guests taking roles as well. We have dear Honorable Alicia Curtis with us, Jason Teo, Salman Makbun, Intan Rawit. Hello Intan. Jenny with us, Nancy, Apri, Keisha, Fifi, Mala, Natalie. Whoa, we are in a good shape. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please let me give the control to the acting president. Is it Natalie acting president or Keisha acting president? Okay, Keisha, can you acting a president now? Yeah, I give the control back to you, Keisha. Rock this meeting by saying hello to the guest.
Of course. Good evening, everyone. First of all, so sorry for the inconvenience, but the show must go on and we're going to have a lot of fun for tonight's meeting. So before we start the meeting, because unfortunately I do not have the video that we usually show for the guests. So yeah, I'm just going to welcome everyone here for tonight's meeting. We have returning people as well as new faces that I've never seen before. So we're gonna get to meet everyone during the table topics session. We're gonna have a packed schedule today, and that is what I'm gonna share in the group chat with everyone in the chat. You can see. All right, here it is. If you would like to check it out, it's in the PDF file. You can see the prepared speech speakers as well as, yes, I'm sorry, is there? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll continue. So there are two prepared speech speakers for today, as well as all the role takers that you can see in there. So once again, I would like to welcome everyone, returning people, as well as new guests. We're gonna have so much fun for tonight's meeting. And I'm going to give the control to our Toastmasters of the day, which is Ms. Intan Dawit as our Tom of the day. To you, Ms. Intan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Keisha, our Madam President of the day. My name is Intan, and today I have the privilege to be the Toastmaster of the meeting. As mentioned before, that our topic today is Leadership Odyssey with the word of the day, vanguard, which means a group of people leading the way in new development or ideas. Today's theme, Leadership Odyssey, reminds us that actually leadership is not a destination, but a journey. Leaders must navigate through uncharted waters, face unexpected challenges, and continually grow from their challenges. Throughout today's meeting, we'll explore different aspects of leadership through our prepared speeches, table topics, and also our evaluations. Each speaker will share their unique perspective, adding another chapter to our collective leadership odyssey. And now let's start with our general evaluator, who will explain the role takers and also her team as well. So please welcome Toastmaster Mala Manuru, all the way from Eagle Toastmaster. Over to you.
Oh, thank you, Madam Tom, for a warm introduction. I'm happy to be back to Bhinneka. And I just want to introduce, I'm Mala from the Toastmaster Club and happy to be here with all of you. I'm serving as the general evaluator, and in Toastmaster, we are not working alone, or we are not studying alone, or we are not learning alone. We'll be supported by team, by people who will give constructive feedback. And my first team is the counter. The accountant is the area director of area G3. Toastmaster Jenny, can you please explain about your role?
Thank you, GA Mala. Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny. My home club is Bali Toastmasters Club. And this is my first time in Bhinneka Toastmaster Club meeting. And I'm so happy. Thank you for having me. My role as the accountant is to pay attention and take note of the filler words, repeating words, filler sound, repeating words, and overused words, such as um, well, so, and I will give my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and back to you, GE.
Thank you for the explanation for being the accountant. Next, I'm going to call my other team member, the timer, also the area director of area G1. Toastmaster Apri, can you explain about your role?
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Mala, and hello everyone. So today I will serve as a timer. So my job for tonight is to track the time for each speaker, evaluator, and also double topic participant. So basically, all of you have to finish your speech by certain time, and to help you to track the time, I have a warning signal. The first is turn from green, yellow, and red. So I will explain one by one. The green, that means it's okay for you whether you want to continue or finish your speech. The green background for the speaker will start at minute 5. And for the evaluator, start at minute 2. And for the double topic, start at minute 1. And next is yellow. Yellow, that means it's okay. Also, it's okay for you whether you want to continue or finish your speech. For the speaker, the yellow background will start at minute 6. For double topic, start at 1 minute 30 seconds. And then for evaluator, start at 2 minutes 30 seconds. After that, we have a red background. That means it's dangerous, so you need to finish your speech as soon as possible. And for the speaker, the red background will start at minute 7. For double topic, start at minute 2. And for evaluator, start at minute 3. So please pay attention for your time, because if you running out of the time, you will not be able to be food. And I think I will raise my hand feature, so you will see my screen all the time. So I think that's all for my explanation. Back to RGE, that's my Mala.
Wow, thank you, Toastmaster Apri, for very detailed explanation of your role. Next, I'm going to call the grammarian, who is the TM Alicia Curtis.
Thank you very much, Mala. All right, so I like to call this the language evaluator because I'm evaluating the use of the English language tonight. And the purpose is to assist you in improving your English vocabulary. So as a language evaluator, I'm going to be focusing on various techniques, and I am the only native English speaker here. So I am going to go probably off on a little bit of a tangent. So I'm going to be looking at alliteration, which is the consonant of sound, so the repetition of sound. So if I was to say, elephants, eggs, see the E, the consistency with the eh sound. Anaphora, which is like using a triad, but you go off in different tangents and directors. Characterization, so using characterization, building on a character. In the English, I guess with an object, you could use a character out of the object. Emotive language, so adjectives and descriptive language. Juxtaposition, which is reversal, negative to positive or positive to negative. Imagery, which is a lot like emotive language, but building up on the imagery. Metaphor, so building around the metaphors. Personification, which is turning an object into a human. Satire, which is humor. Reverse humor, simile, symbolism, and of course the triad, the power of three. Our word of the day, as has been alluded to already, is vanguard. Now, vanguard, that's how you say it. So I'm going to get everyone to pronounce it out loudly so that we make sure that we're all on the same page. So unmute yourselves, please. All of you, everyone, 3, 2,
Vanguard.
1. Vanguard.
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 And make
Vanguard.
so the D,
Vanguard.
vanguard. Yeah, so you've got to actually emphasize the D with this because it is a Germanic
Vanguard.
word. Okay, so definition, a group of people leading the way in new developments or ideas. So the sentence structure, the experimental spirit of the modernist vanguard. So leading the way of the idea of the modern society. Synonyms, pioneer, underground, cutting edge, trailblazer, or forerunner. So please use the word of the day for vanguard. And if you want to use one of the synonyms, that's no problem. Just make sure that you use it in the right context. Thank you very much, and I hand conduct of the meeting back to the general evaluator.
Wow. Thank you for very detailed, and also
Vanguard.
it's my first time to hear and to have this kind of very detailed explanation of grammarian. Thank you, DTM Alicia. And I'm going to call my another team member, which is the ballot counter. DTM Natalie, can you explain about your role?
Yes, hello everyone. While still struggling with blackout at my house, I can still continue as my role as ballot counter, and I will be counting the ballots that you will submit for your favorite prepared speech speaker, table topic speaker, as well as speech evaluators. And I will launch it by the end of the table topic session, as both prepared speech evaluators will deliver their evaluation first. Back to you.
Wow, thank you, DTM Natalie. Even in the blackout situation, you still can serve as the role taker. What a dedication to the Toastmasters. Next, I'm going to explain about my role as a general evaluator. I'm going to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. Just to give the explanation based on the agenda, the individual evaluator will evaluate after the prepared speaker. So it means the table topic session will be the last one. And that is a slight change adjustment for the agenda. Thank you and hope to see you again later at the evaluation session. Back to you, Madam Tom.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mala Manurung, as our GD and her wonderful team, and also dedicated team. And now we'll move on to the next session, which is prepared speech. And I would like to introduce you our first speaker, which is Toastmaster TMC Afi, our new member. Yeah, not kind of new, but welcome to Nancy. She will deliver her project in level 3, project 1, presentation mastery, and will be evaluated by our evaluator, Toastmaster Genison Wibawa, all the way from Pacific Toastmaster Club. Please welcome Toastmaster Genison Wibawa to explain the objective of the speech of the chief.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting. Toastmaster Nancy today will deliver a project on introduction to vocal variety and body language. Now, of course, she's gonna give us a speech with incredible vocal variety and body language. And for Nancy, the most important thing is, of course, to have fun, because when you have fun on stage, your body language and your vocal variety will flow naturally. Please welcome everyone. Speaker number 1, Nancy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Genison. Before I start, am I audible? Okay, wait, let me pin the timer first. Okay. When I was a teenager, sometimes I had a thought that I wasn't loved, simply because my parents rarely say, I love you. While I noticed parents outside there, they could easily express those words to their children. But mine seems to only say it in certain situations. And this is when they say it. Nancy, I'm mad at you because I love you. Yes, they say it when they're mad at me, simply because they love me. Fellow Toastmaster, friends, and guests, have you experienced the same situation like me? If yes or no, then just type it on the chat box so that I know that I have a friend or I'm just alone. Okay, where is your answer? Okay, we have in common. Great, I'm not alone. Okay, unfortunately, it means that I have a friend. Fellow Toastmaster, friends, and guests. But as I grew up, I began to understand that my parents didn't say, I love you. It doesn't mean that they do not love me. They did, but their love language was just a bit different. I valued the words of affirmation at the top as I wanted to be appreciated, while my parents, they valued act of service at the top. It is shown in their daily activity. My mom always provide me the best food, and my dad, he always take and pick me up at school. They always there every time I needed help. But because our love language is different, it took me a while to recognize their love and appreciate it. Well, we all express love differently, and that is where love languages come in. For some people, love is communicated through words of affirmation, just like me. When we are hearing the words, I really appreciate you. I am so proud of you. Those words mean everything. But some people, they feel most love through physical touch when they get a hug or maybe when they are receiving gifts, having quality time, or just like my parents, their love language is act of service, like helping people with tasks. Fellow Toastmaster, friends, and guests, learning to understand these differences is important in any relationship because it is prevent us from feeling unloved or unappreciated simply because love is being shown in a way that we do not recognize. Just like my parents, they were showing love in the way that made sense to them, but it took me some time to really realize it. And once I understood this, our relationship grows stronger. I learned to see the love behind their action. And with that, I also try to love them in based on their love language. Simply as I try to give them a hand without they are asking. For instance, helping my mom when she is cooking and accompany her go to the market and many more. While my parents, they also begin to say the beautiful words to me. For instance, when I want to go to school, they would say, good luck for your classes. And even until now, when I'm having an exam, I get like the standard score, they will still appreciate my struggle. Well, this mutual understanding of each other's love languages transform our bonding and make it more meaningful and balanced. This concept applies in our relationship, whether in family, friends, or in romantic partners. Fellow Toastmaster, friends, and guests. The key to strong lasting relationship is learning to speak each other love languages. This doesn't mean changing who we are or how we naturally show love, but it does mean being aware of how others around us receive love and making effort to meet them where they are. When we take time to understand how someone else feels love, we are able to create a deeper and more meaningful connection with them. And in closing, I want to encourage all of you to think about the relationship in your life. How do the people closest to you express their love? Are you aware of their love language? And most importantly, are you open to learning how to show love in a way that speaks to them? By doing so, you can build stronger bonds, avoid unnecessary misunderstanding, and experiencing love in its many beautiful forms. Back to you, Tom.
Give applause to our Toastmaster Nancy. Well, there are many ways to say I love you, many ways of love language. There are words of affirmation, receiving gifts, act of service. But for me, it's act of money, of course. What about you? Well, wonderful speech from our first speaker. And now let's move on to our second speaker. And please welcome Toastmaster Keisha, who will deliver her project on also presentation mastery and will be evaluated by Toastmaster Jason Teo all the way from Malaysia. Please welcome Toastmaster Jason Teo to introduce the objective of the speech. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam TOE. So before I start, am I audible? Sorry, am I audible?
Yes.
Or
Yes, you're audible.
oh, okay. The check. Yeah, I hope the background noise is not too bad. The rain is pretty heavy here. So today I'll be evaluating. Wait, one moment. Evaluating Keisha on her title Vocal Variety. So this, I would say, is one of my personal favorites because they teach people how to say it, not what to say, because how you say it is also just as important. Keisha, the goal of your speech today is to sorry, my computer is a bit laggy. Yeah, the purpose of this project is for you to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance your speech. You have 5 to 7 minutes. Keisha, good luck.
All right, thank you. Is my voice clear, everyone? Yeah, okay. Did you have that one kid when you were in school who for some reason could never stop crying? Yeah, the crybaby. You know, you would look in their eyes and they would start tearing up and you'd go, here we go again. That was me. Not my proudest moment, but hey, I'm embracing it. I'm a proud alumni of the Cry Baby Club. Ladies and gentlemen, I hated school, at least as an elementary kid. An average conversation at 6 a.m. in my house would be me crying, begging my mom, please, mom, don't take me to school. And of course, she'd take me to school and I would be sitting in class. I would look at the clock and I go, 4 hours until 12. 4 hours until 12. And I would start crying all over again and repeat. Now I'm a senior in high school. And I can say I'm not that terrified of school anymore. You know, I started speaking up in class first and foremost, and then I started joining club activities at school. I started showing up in my school advertisement videos, and I've held position as the president of the student council. I guess you could say that to achieve those things, you kind of have to not hate school. You actually have to love it. So recently I started reflecting back on those memories. Why was I crying? Because I actually love learning. Now I love going to school, but what was the reason behind me crying? And that was when I realized, ladies and gentlemen, it was never about the school. It was being disciplined. I struggled staying disciplined. I realized this love of learning that I had because every time I would go home from school after a full day of just crying in front of my classmates, I would actually pull out my books, start reading until dinner time. And then during dinner time, I would go up to my mom, my dad, my sister, and I would start explaining back to them everything that I learned that day, excitedly. When I discovered that I had this love for learning, I realized that this was something that could motivate me to stay disciplined in school. And that was what motivated me to actually sit still in class, not shed a single tear, and actually learn. Ladies and gentlemen, we often hear about discipline versus motivation. It's an age-old conversation. Many successful businessmen, including one, his name is Jocko Willink. He's a former US Navy SEAL, as well as a very successful businessman. He said that discipline equals freedom. In his book, he further details about how discipline changed his life, especially being in the Army. Other successful businessmen, let's name Elon Musk, of course, the chief executive of Tesla. No matter how you feel about him, but you can't deny that he is the embodiment. He's the poster child of self-discipline. And look at how successful he is now. But we often don't talk about motivation. Often we either antagonize it, like motivation is just something that's fleeting. It's a fleeting feeling of excitement at the beginning. But after that, you need discipline. Well, yeah, that's true. But I'm here to argue another thing. Motivation is not just something that you have in the beginning. It's something that's constant. And you actually have to actively keep motivated. Discipline without motivation is like a car without a fuel. Sure, you can go and you can go every day, but would you still enjoy the process? Would you actually find the process engaging and fulfilling? So there was this one experiment, ladies and gentlemen, that was very interesting, and it was done in the Stanford University by someone of the name Michael L. Sadis. He and his colleagues wanted to study our brain in regards with rewards and feeling satisfactory. So there are two conditions. In the first condition of this research, there are a group of college students who were given enjoyable tasks, such as playing the video games, solving puzzles, but they are told that they would not get anything out of this activity. You know, you can just be part of our research, but we will not give you any money, we will not give you any rewards whatsoever. The second part of the task, a group of college kids were asked to do just very simple but mundane tasks, such as doing mathematical equations and then filling in questionnaires about how they feel about their professor in college, stuff like that. They're mundane, but they're easy, and they will get rewards. They will be rewarded with money as well as other sort of gifts. And then they use something called fMRI, which could scan our brains, and they studied our brain activity, especially in the area that was associated with our feelings of satisfaction and rewards, such as the prefrontal cortex. They found that the brain activity, when the first group of college kids who actually enjoyed what they're doing, was actually higher in dopamine. It gives them more happiness. It gives them more feeling of satisfactory and feeling of enjoyment, even though they're not getting anything out of it. While in the second group of college kids, there was a more flat line of activity in the brain research, and that found that actually this first group of college kids, albeit without any rewards, was more happier in their doing because they feel passionate, they feel intrinsically motivated. This research was the first research which actually put motivation into the intrinsic and extrinsic motivations. The intrinsic motivation is something that we get from the inside, our passion, our hobbies, something that we actually generally love doing. And then the extrinsic motivation is intrinsic rewards, such as money, someone giving you achievement, someone recognizing your efforts. Both of these types of motivation are equally important. But we see that when someone is more passionate about what they're doing, when it's coming from the inside, this is actually what keeps them doing that process longer, what keeps them being persistent in the process. And then in the end, they become more disciplined and consistent in what they're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, motivation and discipline go hand in hand. They're not something that we should bat against each other. You know, you should stay disciplined. Motivation is just a fleeting moment, blah, blah, blah. No, they go hand in hand. We need motivation to actually be disciplined and discipline to stay motivated. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that it's been insightful. And back to you.
Applause to our second speaker, Keisha, who already shared her story, how a crybaby becomes a top-tier student, like what we see today. And actually, motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. In other words, to say that actually discipline is a hard choice. Like Keisha said, you have to study hard every single day, but then it will lead into easy life. But if we choose easy choice, like not going to be disciplined, it will lead us into hard life. Well, thank you so much for our speakers, prepared speakers today. And now I would like to invite our timer, Toastmaster Apri Wibowo, to deliver the report for the prepared speaker.
Okay, thank you and congratulations for our speaker. You are eligible to be voted, and the total of the time I already put in the chat box. Back to our Tom.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Api. So both speakers are eligible to be voted. And now we're moving to the heart of the Toastmaster meeting, the evaluation session. Now we would like to invite the first evaluator who will evaluate our first speaker, Toastmaster Nancy. I would like to invite Toastmaster Denison Wibawa. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, love language, one of them is praising. And Nancy, I think you did amazingly in your third speech, is it? I think you did an incredible job, and I will give you another round of applause. Now, how can I confidently say that you did an incredible job? Two things, just two, because those are really amazing. First thing is that I see that you really are getting used to making speeches. It flows really well. I think the whole idea makes sense. And most importantly, you were only going on one idea and one idea alone, and that is love language. You expanded on that one idea throughout the whole speech from start to finish. And this creates a whole sounding speech. What many speakers make the mistake is they do too many things in just 5 to 7 minutes, and it makes an impression of something lacking. Now, I am able to resonate with your speech because you spent a lot of time building it up. And I'm able to resonate because, yeah, my parents also like that. Next is, I think you did a really amazing job in your opening and, of course, your ending. And research suggests that people remember most about the openings and the endings. I remember your openings of the skit. The skit was really funny. I thought it was really funny, and I believe it's relatable to almost everyone here. The skit in your opening with your parents, and they love you only when they scold you. And of course, your closing too. You closing with, I want to encourage all of you. What is their love language? This is a great call to action, reminding us that we also have our loved ones. Now, love language is also about scolding, so I will give you some evaluation, not scold, yeah? Keep in mind that the audience doesn't know your speech. You have the whole speech memorized in your head. You've practiced it a lot of times. the audience doesn't. So we as speakers need to make sure that the audience is not led astray. When we make a point, we want to make 100% sure that all of the audience are in the point with us. And when we continue, we want to make sure that they are with us. Now, how do we do this? It feels that the first thing we can do is slow down. Now, I'm sure you know what slow down means, but I saw a glimpse of you slowing down when you said, this concept applies also to families, friends, and romantic partners. So rewatch your speech and really capture how you slow down in this point. And the next is vocal variety. I think your vocal variety, you have good vocal variety in one part of the speech, but it keeps repeating. It's like a song, if it just keeps repeating the chorus, it gets boring after a while. So just keep this in mind. And to summarize, you have great opening, you made great speech, great points, and slow down. And of course, keep your energy to maintain vocal variety. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the constructive feedback, Coach Vibawa, our first evaluator. And now we're moving to our second evaluator, Toastmaster Jason Teo. Will be evaluating Toastmaster Asia. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam TOE. So today, Kisha delivered a speech titled Motivation versus Discipline. And I have to admit that was an excellent speech. Same as the first speaker, I would give you another round of applause. Now, what I like about your speech is that I think you nailed down very well your tone, your pitch, and your volume. When you wanted to make a joke like the crying club, you increase your pitch to make it more funny. And then when you explain things about how motivation triggers a part of your brain to release a chemical to make you more disciplined. That Tony, is it? I think that was absolutely perfect. So what I would recommend to make your speech, to bring your speech to that even higher level, right? When you were speaking, you were very close to the camera, something like this. So I could not really see most of your body language. It was like this. Next time when you speak, I would recommend you take a few steps back. When you see in the few years back, right, when during the COVID time, a lot of the speakers, they like to show like their hips up towards. There's a reason for this. It's so much easier to see more of your body language when you're showing your hip up. So next time, take a few steps back and talk with like half your body showing. I think that will make it a lot better. Now, to challenge yourself, there was one part of the vocal variety which I think would make your speech like really perfect, like competition level. And that is to learn to slow down and even pause. It can be very powerful to add elaboration to your next sentence or suspense to your next word. For example, there was a very powerful speech there's a very powerful sentence in one of your speech. You mentioned, I would sit down and explain everything I learned that day to my parents. I would put it this way, I would sit down and explain everything I learned today to my parents. Do you see the different weight? It's the same sentence, but the weight is different. Try next time. Slow down and even pause for like 3 seconds to really add weight to your sentence. Overall, I would say your tone, pitch, volume was excellent. Well done. Next time, try to stand a bit back, maybe tweak your camera a bit to show your hip up. And of course, pace, slow down, and even pause. And I will say you did a good job. And I look forward to your next speech. Madam TOE, back to you.
Thank you for the great feedback, Toastmaster Jason Teo. Slow down and pause. So it also gives us for all of us for our next project. Like the most important thing, we need to slow down and also pause. It could be applied into our daily life too, I think. Nice. And now I would like to ask Toastmaster Apri to give the report for our evaluator.
Okay, and for the evaluator, only one is eligible to be put, which is the Toastmaster session. And for the first speaker, Toastmaster Kenison, he spent 3 minutes 38 seconds, so he not be able to be put. And I put the detail in the chat box.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Apri. Unfortunately for our first evaluator is not eligible to be voted, but it's okay. We already had his constructive feedback. And now I would like to invite our Toastmaster Rendra as our table topic master. The funniest moment that we're waiting for the whole session. Toastmaster Rendra, floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Tom, Intan Rawit. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, my name is Rendra, as mentioned by Tom of tonight. I'm happy to be here. I will be bring to you table topic sessions. What is table topic all about? Well, table topic is a sessions that we learn impromptu speech, which is has 1 to 2 minutes. Basically, I will give you questions or a theme, and you'll respond or answer within 1 and 2 minutes. For doing this, I will appoint one of the most senior, sorry, one of the most honorable member that was the president of this club, Fifi, to give the example of what is the table topic all about. Okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me start the first questions to Fifi Amaliawati. The question is, Fifi, you can accommodate the word of vanguards for your response, if it's possible to you. The question is, Fifi, what are the key characteristics that defines a successful leader on their leadership journey? What are the key characteristics that define a successful leader on their leadership journey? The question will be on the chat box. 1 to 2 minutes. Fifi Amalia Wati. Time is yours.
The key characteristic of a successful leader, according to me, there are some, but the most important thing is this leader can understand what is the need for all the team members. So I can say that the leadership style is the situational leadership. It means that for some member, he could delegate the task, while some others he needs maybe mentoring or coaching, because perhaps it apply when the team member is still new. So this leader must coaching or mentoring, while for the experienced one he just can delegate. So it depends on the situation. Moreover, listening skill also the other part of the skill that the successful leader must have. Listening is different from the hearing. Listenings mean that you know what is needed by your team member and you know how to address it. You need to show your empathy. And of course, the communication skill is the third skill that needed by a successful leader. How you are going to communicate. Well, I can say that in overall, your interpersonal skill is needed for the successful leaders. That's all the I can share to you. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Yeah, thank you, Fifi Amaliawati. Well, Fifi now and was and will be always amazing leader. Welcome home, Fifi. I'm very happy to see you. I hope to see you as often as possible. Okay, the second question will be goes to Veronica. Veronica, can you turn on your video, please? Veronica, there? Hello there, Veronica. It seems that I cannot reach Veronica for now. So then the second question will goes to Salman Mahpoon. Am I saying your name correct, bro?
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Okay. The second question goes to you. Wait. How important is the role of mentorship shaping leaders' Odyssey? And what qualities should a mentor possess? How important is the role of mentorship in shaping a leader's Odyssey? And what qualities should a mentor possess? The question will be on the chat box, and your time is 2 minutes. You can check out in the chat box if you want to see it first.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master, for giving me such a wonderful question. Ladies and gentlemen, evidence has shown that leaders are not born, leaders are made. So are the mentors. Mentors are not born, mentors are made through learning, through experiences, through hardships in their lives. Mentor is a person who leads from the front, who has got so many effective qualities and skills like effective communication, active listening, interpersonal skills, EQ, and IQ. These all qualities and skills combined help a mentee or the team members or the leaders to become the best version of themselves in their lives. For example, Toastmaster is a wonderful platform which produces mentors and leaders. And mentors help the leaders. You all are wonderful, amazing Toastmasters. You all are leaders you all are leaders and you all are also mentors in some aspects. So you all help each other as a mentor, as a mentee, as a leader. So mentors and leaders go hand in hand. But I think the mentor should be a person who has equipped with all skills and qualities that eventually help out a leader who would be able to be a visionary leader in our society. So be a leader, act like a leader, and learn from your mentors. This is the time for you. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Salman Mahpoon. So you are a cousin of Salman Khan, the artist in Bollywood? Say hello to him, right? Thank you, Salman Mahpoon. Thank you very much. Now the third questions goes to, well, actually, many of you, most of you has a role already. However, I spot two people that the role is quite quote unquote easy peasy. So those who are easy peasy roles, I'll be voted as next table topic speakers. Natalie, you have a counter, right? It's quite easy, right?
Okay, yes.
So you will be the third person that respond the third questions.
Okay, Rendra.
Sure. Okay. What role does emotional intelligence play in navigating the complexities of a leadership odyssey? What role does emotional intelligence play in navigating the complexities of a leadership odyssey? The question will be in the chat box, and your time as usual, 1 to 2 minutes, even though you can make it an hour. It
Okay.
is.
Yes,
Cool.
thank you, Rendra. When I first finished university, I went back home and I worked at my family business. And when I first worked at my family business, taking a managerial role, I realized that intelligence has nothing to do with people management. Intelligence helps you to go further with your academic pursuit. It helps you to gain knowledge, but to be able to manage people, you really need emotional intelligence. So since then, I've taken and I've making some effort. I've been making some effort to understand how people think, what motivate them, and how like the best way to make them feel happy, productive, and able to actually follow instructions or do the expectations of their roles. So one of the things that I learned from emotional intelligence, and that's why I think emotional intelligence is very crucial, is treat people as treat people as people, not as a machine or as production tools, but treat your staff, your colleagues as people. What does it mean? It means that when you communicate with them, communicate with openness, communicate with compassion, communicate with clarity. When you have problems with them, then solve it right away. Do not let it fester until the next day or next week, or let it become a gossip. And when there is a problem, let's not point fingers and blame each other, but let's focus on the solution. It is not easy to change someone's perspective or character and even company's culture, but with a little bit emotional intelligence sprinkled along the way, then it will help transform oneself, transform other, and at the end, it transforms the whole organization. So I think, yes, emotional intelligence play a big part in a leadership odyssey. Back to you, Rendra.
Yeah, thank you, Natalie. So Natalie is also one of our leaders in our club. We are all leaders in our business, in our life, and we will be having the fourth questions. Apri, can you respond to the fourth questions? Timer is easy busy, right? Can you turn on your video, Apri, or are you away somewhere there?
Okay, okay,
Okay,
sure,
cool,
sure.
bro. You got a fourth questions. It may be the last questions. Wait. How can self-awareness play a pivotal role in a leader's journey, and what practice enhance it? How can self-awareness play a pivotal role in a leader's journey, and what practices enhance it? The question will be on the chat box. Wait. Wait. Okay, your time is 1 to 2 minutes. Apri, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the question. I think self-awareness is quite important, in my opinion, to in doing a leadership journey, because in self-awareness, basically we need to understand ourselves, and before we understand other. For example, if you want to take some kind of for example, you want to make people doing something for yourself, you need to understand them first, so that they have some kind of capability to do something that we need to do. And for example, when we take a role in Toastmaster, it's pretty hard for us, right, to find a role player, and in order to do that, we need to have some kind of compassion with each other. We need to help them when when have a difficult time, so that it can be more easy for us to ask help from them. And it also we need to have a really good self awareness with everyone around us, so that it can also make our leadership journey can be more easy. And yeah, I believe I really agree that self awareness is play a really important role when it come to uh, in the process of learning how to be a leader. I think that's all for me. Back to our topic master, Toastmaster Hendra.
Yeah, thank you, Aubrey, bro. Well, it seems that I still have several times, according to Natalie, my sister. She texts me directly and say, "You still have time. Just enjoy the session." Okay, cool. I will enjoy a session as I have as possible. Okay, now would like to give fourth, the fifth question to Jenny. Jenny, that I think that I saw you in Bali. Is it correct? Correct. Cool. So you're in Bali and you're Balinese. You will have the fifth questions for me. Wait. Wait. In what ways can challenge and setbacks during a leadership journey contribute to personal growth and development? In what ways can challenge and setbacks during a leadership journey contribute to personal growth and development? These questions will be on a chat box. As usual, your time will be 2 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rendra. For me, leadership is not about just following a path, but also lead by example. And the challenges that can be faced during the leadership is how we can lead by the example. For example, in mentorship, in my club, I mentor a speaker, one of the Toastmaster, and he said he gave a feedback for me. Is because before I didn't finish my pathway. It's always stuck in the level 2 and level 3. Then he told me, "Jenny, I appreciate you as my mentor, but if I can suggest you, please lead by example." And that's hit me hard. Then I start to finish my pathway, and few weeks ago, actually I already finished my whole pathway. So I'm so proud of myself. And then I can see and my mentee that he really appreciate what I'm doing. And I also receive and applied his feedback. So in my opinion, as a leadership, not just lead by example, also we receive feedback and apply from all the people that we lead. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Yay, Jenny, congratulations and thank you. Well, I will ask Veronica, is she still in a dinner? Are you still in dinner, dear? Veronica? Oh, okay. It seems that Veronica is still in her dinner with family. Yeah, we have Alicia Cordes raising her hand.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely yours, Alicia. And you have to accommodate a vanguard word if it's possible. And I believe you can do if you really, somehow do magic in these response questions. Okay, now your question is in in what ways can leaders document and reflect on their Odyssey to enhance future leadership practice and strategies? In what ways can leaders document and reflect on their Odyssey to enhance future leadership practice and strategies? Questions on the chat box and your time as usual. 2 minutes. Alicia Curtis, time is yours.
This sounds like something straight from ChatGPT, Rendra. I'm just being
It is.
absolutely. I knew
I need
it.
something difficult to the advanced club.
But of course, you're going to give me something from ChatGPT because it sounds like a ChatGPT comment. You know what? What can they reflect on in their Odyssey? What can they reflect on? And they can use, I guess, Vanguard to reflect on this. I think they need to sit down with their mentor and use that as an opportunity to grow and develop. Now, when I think about this particular ChatGPT question, which we're going to have to use a bit of AI super intelligence and break away from the AI stupidity of the question, I think sitting down with my mentor, and I have to do it over the next couple of weeks, probably this week, and think about how do I actually progress from where I am at the moment and being stagnant to where I can actually go far. So I have two particular mentors that I work with, David and also Vicky. David's here in Australia. Vicky is in the USA. And I work on different things with them or different strategies to enhance my leadership skills as well as my speaking skills. It's more around leadership because I don't really focus on my speaking because I'm happy where I am at the moment with that. And what I do is we catch up and we reflect on where I'm at the moment, so present, where I need to go and reflect for the future. Now, we don't use a lot of Vanguard, so to speak, and I'm sure that is another ChatGPT word of the day as well. Thank you, ChatGPT. But what we do is reflect on the now, what we're doing in the current, but we also reflect on the future. So then we want to think, do we go 2-3 steps in the future, or do we go 1 or 2 steps in the future? So that's what we do. I sit down and reflect with my mentors, and that is how I become the next best version of myself. Not with ChatGPT.
Thank you, Alicia Curtis. Well, Alicia Curtis is my artist, ladies and gentlemen. When I was doing and will be doing my accounter, well, her spreadsheet is always in a very good function. Now, I think I still have a question. So I'll give the last prompt to Veronica, whether she is already finished her dinner or not. Veronica, are you already finished your dinner or not?
Rendra, I had a message from her. She said she could not speak. She just wanted to join the meeting, like listening this time.
Okay, so I will give the next questions to the last handsome man, Jason. Jason, you'll be the person who has the last questions. Okay.
Well,
This
sure.
is for you. Guys from ChatGPT, Jason. It's not me that makes these questions, but this is actually it's not that hard. What strategies can leaders use to inspire and motivate team through times of change and uncertainty? What strategies can leaders use to inspire and motivate their teams through times of change and uncertainty? The questions will be on a chat box. As usual, your time will be 1 to 2 minutes. Time is yours, Jason.
I think this is a very good question because we just lived through a very unique time a few years ago. That's COVID-19. There was a great change. There was a lot of uncertainty. and a lot of people were demotivated, and a lot of people just gave up. So what did I do during those times to inspire my team and not have them give up? What I did, remind them why they are here in the first place. I was more to the academic side. I would ask people, why did you become a conservationist in the first place? Is it to protect the animals? Your funding has dried up. Yes, I agree. But what can you do with that fewer funding? I'm sure there's something else you can do with your time. Go down deep to what matters to them. Some people, they work, let's be honest, because they want money to take care of their parents. Tell them that these are hard times. Yes, I agree with you. But, bite through it. Do it for your family, your ohana. Times will get better soon. I believe in it. So if I were a leader and my teams are demotivated, I go down to the core, the roots of why they were working there in the first place or why they are here in that company. What motivates them? What drives them? What is their purpose? Remind them. And then tell them that that value, that purpose is still very valid, even though it's a bit more difficult. And that's what I would do. Mr. Toastmasters of the evening. Toastmasters, Table Topic Masters, back to you.
Okay, Jason, where do you live, Jason? Where do you live now?
Now still in Malaysia, Sarawak. Just
Oh,
2 hours
okay,
away
cool.
from Indonesia.
Yeah, you can be a prime minister of Malaysia in the future. You are leadership on the making. It is so
But
true.
sorry, by law, I cannot be a prime minister. By Malaysian law.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for all those 7 questions answered by 7 table topic speakers. Now I will be asking the timer about their time used. Please
Yeah,
give report, Bro Apri.
yeah. Everyone in double topic participant is eligible to be vote. Congratulations. And I put the detail in the chat box.
Okay, cool. So everyone, every individual table topic speakers are eligible to be voted. So ballot counter, it is your roles to make a ballot counter counted. Thank you. I'll give the control back to our amazing, and we will miss you so much, Intan Rawi Tom, and we hope you are still here with us until at the end of the day, and there is for two. Tom, time is yours.
Okay, I just finished put it for our prepared speaker and also the topic. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rendra, for the mind-blowing and hard to answer questions. You make us things really hard and will challenge us as a leader, right? And we would like to go on to the next session, which is general evaluation. And now I would like to welcome Toastmaster Mala Manuru and her wonderful team. Apri, what's going on with your head? Over to you, Toastmaster Mala.
Thank you, Madam Tom. I think Toastmaster Apri just released because he just finished with his role as timer. Okay. Now this is the evaluation session. I don't know whether it's the right context. If I can say a group of the evaluation session, like the GE and team, is the a vanguard for leading the way in our development in communication and also leadership. I can say that because based on my personal experience, hopefully by being members of Toastmasters also lead you to many developments. Now I'm going to call my first team member who is the counter, Toastmaster Jenny. Can you please report your observation?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, GA. I'm going to give my report as an counter. From what I wrote down here, we start from the speakers, Nancy with 1 and Keisha 1 Then the evaluator, Jason, 1 and 2 And for table topic speakers, Fifi, 3 and me, repeating words, so and. And from the role takers, timers, Toastmaster Apri, more than 5 and GE Mala 1 I have read the tips for the counter. Usually we speak the filler words or something like that because our brain, our mind is thinking and our mouth is open, so we produce the sound. So the tips, when our brain is thinking, it's better we close our mouth and pause. I noticed just like what Natalie did, that she paused when said, how, then she paused, and then she said, how, and blah, blah, blah. So I learned a lot from Natalie this evening. That's all from me. Thank you, everyone.
Please give applause to Toastmaster Jenny. Thank you, Toastmaster Jenny, for helping us to observe us first and also to give feedback on how we can improve ourselves. Next, I'm going to call the language evaluator, TTM Alicia.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Marla. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Guys, I've got a thumbs up. Okay. So yes, I am the master of the Grammarverse. This is one of my favorite roles in Toastmasters, and I get to do it at least once or twice a week, especially with non-native English speakers. The reason I like doing it is because as a native English speaker, it is, I guess, my duty and my guardianship to actually help improve the English language. I didn't go very much focus on the gems or the shining moments, so I'm going to break this up into gems, germs, and also the word of the day. But here are some good uses of the English language. Nancy said, rarely say I love you. My love language from Nancy. Keisha said, I have this love for learning. It's that use of alliteration, love learning, that L sound. Intrinsic by Keisha. We need discipline to achieve motivation by Keisha, and My Ohana by Jason. Ohana is family or grouping of family in the Hawaiian language. Now, the germs. Please don't be scared because I am about to go through a lot of English here. All right. And there's 2 pages of this, by the way. We are going to start with, I am so happy. This is a fragmented sentence and it should be, I am happy to be with you. Emphasis on who the individual is when you're talking about this. The speaker, plural singular rule has to apply here. The speakers, we're not talking about one individual speaker, we're having it multiple. If we've got more than one, we've got 2 speakers. So always have 2, so S at the end. Let's move on to the next session. Prepared speech should be, we will now move on to the first session, which is prepared speeches. Again, the plural and the singular rule. Give us a speech. In the English language, that doesn't really come across as well done. So I would say we'll deliver a speech. Fellow Toastmaster, plural. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, because there's more than one person in the crowd. He always says in the English language, a woman is referred to as she. So remember, I know that in some Asian languages, especially in Mandarin, Cantonese, I'm not sure if it's in Bahasa as well, the pronoun for female is a he, but in the English language, it is a she or a her. They're the 2 pronouns that we use. Accompanying her go to market. This doesn't make any sense and we're missing out on an article. Should be accompanying when we go to the market. how someone else feel love. We need to be corrected as a subject verb and placed into a statement form of sentence structure. And it should be how someone else feels love. Is like a car without a fuel, missing the subject and incorrect use of the article. It should have been, it is like a car without fuel. So that's, I guess, I think that's antonym as well. I have put time into the chat box. Incorrect sentence. I have placed times for our speakers into the chat box. Throughout was pronounced as throughout. So this is a rule in the English language, and I'm going to show you how to all do this. See my tongue, and see my two teeth, So when we're pronouncing the TH sounds, we bite down on our tongue and go through, like throughout. So we've got to actually have the hard TH with the R there. So throughout, and that's how you demonstrate it. We can have a language lesson offline about that. Audience, not led astray, not lead astray. It should have been led, L-E-D, like as in lead, as in the poison toxic thing. So we need to pronounce it as led, not lead. Today, Keisha deliver a speech. So it should be, or how it's been delivered is, the verb is not properly conjugated into the present tense. It should be, tonight, Keisha delivered a speech, not deliver a speech, because she's delivering or delivered. So past tense as well. Perfect, we're not emphasizing the T sound. So need to go perfect. So see how I'm putting an emphasis on the T at the end? And back was pronounced as bar, back, like a K, like a real strong K sound. The C and the K have to really collide together. The floor is yours. I would suggest the virtual stage is yours because we aren't in the physical presence here. Report your observations should have been in the plural form. Report your observations. All right, first questions for our first speaker, plural singular form, and this doesn't make any sense. It should have been the first question is listenings. There's no such word as listenings. It's a grammatical error and it does not make sense in the noun form. It should be listening, and think about how to place it in the sentence structure. Interpersonal skill. We have an interpersonal skill individually, but together as a collective, it is interpersonal skills. Pronouns. Now, when we're using a statement for a non-gender specific purpose, we need to actually use the pronoun they, them, us, we. Please use that when we're talking in the third person. Mentor. It should have been a mentor, adding an article. For example, Toastmaster is, use of plural. Toastmaster is the individual person carrying out the role. Toastmasters is the organization, and then Toastmasters with the apostrophe at the end, we add that for the multiple use of people as a collective. Become a gossip. Remove the article. It should have been becomes, which becomes gossip. So we go from a tense, a past to a present. So it's all also thinking about the tenses. Now, as I said, I noticed this with the words, and these were the words that I noticed, and I think it's to do with the fact that in the Bahasa language, there's no emphasis on these words at the end. T, k, d, k. Again, the K and the C actually collide and sound the same. And g, so that's the lowercase sound when we're ending our sentences. They're very strong and very harsh words. Fourth questions, it may be the last questions. We don't emphasize this as a plural, as you're not asking multiple questions to a person. You're delivering one singular question to each speaker. As a collective group, you are delivering 4 plural questions. Easy was pronounced as E. It's E-Z, and it's like a Z sound, so, or a Z sound for the American pronunciation. E-Z. This question's grammatical error should have been the question or the questions, depending if it's plural or singular, if you're asking one or multiple. Table topics masters of the day. It should have been handing conduct of the meeting back to the table topics master. Chat box was pronounced as chatbot throughout the meeting. Chat box. Like it's like a X. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a X. It's the silent X sound or sound in the lower case. More than 5 R should have been more than 5 R's. Remember, this is plural, more than one. Now we go to the word of the day. Vanguard. Intan 1, Rendra 2, I had 2, and Mala had 2. And that, my friends, completes my role as the grammarian.
Wow, give applause to our language evaluator. Feel like I got a lot. I believe all of us got lesson learned from her observation. Thank you, DTM Alicia. And this is my time to give the evaluation. But before going to the evaluation of the whole meeting, I'm going to give the glimpse of the table topic evaluation. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 speakers delivering their table topic. First of all, I need to appreciate all your effort to answer, which has been explained by DTM Alicia. This is all the questions were very hard. It took me time to digest all the things, and then suddenly you can answer it. Wow. The thing is, when we were given a table topic questions, some of the speakers directly answer or directly go to the question, how to answer that question. For example, if it is about the characteristic that define successful leader, or how self-awareness, that one is good. But if you give the time to think, maybe you will have personal stories. I can hear from Toastmaster Jenny, Toastmaster Natalie, and DTF Alicia and also Toastmaster Jason, that you give insight from your personal experience. And it doesn't have to be a good experience or a good story that you had through. It can be the hard things, it can be the difficulties, which it can engage the audience more to topic that has been shared to you. And the thing also, all the speakers, like Toastmaster Vivi, you said that listening and hearing are different, and that one is the skill that successful leaders should have. Toastmaster Salman also said about the mentors are made, not born. So it's good that you directly answer, but if it's better if you can share the example or the story that you have become a mentor or maybe become a mentee. So DTM Natalie, this one always with personal story, and also how you elaborate that with the questions. Toastmaster Apri also said that we need to understand ourselves before others, and you can tell about your story. Toastmaster Jenny, you said about led by example, and because the question is about the challenge and setbacks, maybe you can elaborate to answer the question on how let the example and receive feedback become a challenge and setback to become better leader. And also, Toastmaster Jason, I really appreciate what you did. You are the only table topic speaker who really stand up and show your gesture, effort to tell about the strategies to inspire and motivate. That is the thing that I like. So hopefully by that short table topic evaluation, it will give insight for us to be a better speaker. Now I'm going to go to the general evaluation. So how about the meeting? I came to the meeting at 5:59, which is the Indonesian time. So and we start at 6:05. I also realized that there were some things that happened in the member of Bhinneka, but it's fine. What I really like from this meeting is even though we start a bit late, only 5 minutes, but everything runs well, and even this one is ahead of the schedule, ahead of the agenda. And the meeting starts, and every session just goes straight forward, and I think it's a good point. Yeah, we all Toastmaster, we know, and also even though we have guests, but it's still clear for me. For all the role takers, Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Intan, I really like the way you lead the meeting. You show about the good active listening skill. You give comment to the prepared speakers, and it's show that you pay attention and you still can elaborate with the team. And also for the evaluators, individual evaluators, now we have Toastmaster Jason here. Thank you for giving us. It's not only for the prepared speakers, but also for us that you really pay attention to the speaker to tell about to slow down and even to give pause for us to enhance the message that we want to say to the audience. And for the counter, Toastmaster Jenny, thank you. And Toastmaster Apri for being so dedicated to listen and to pay attention to what happened. And also to the role taker for DTM Alicia. Wow, this is my first time really I know your name, but many times I couldn't join your session. But then when I have, this is DTM Alicia as the language evaluator. Wow. Because your name is always like for GE or for some counter, this one quoting your name using your form. And now I experience by myself to see how precious the things you share to us. And also for the ballot counter, DTM Natalie, really appreciate your dedication in the blackout, and everything is still here. I know it's hard. Last one for the TT table topic master. I really love that you always add humor in your question, even in giving opinion to the speakers. But then the questions really important that you can make it simpler so that we don't have to think hard to answer it. Or if you want, sometimes quote is more representative to say what we want to ask to the audience. Maybe ask ChatGPT to find the correct quote for this. Maybe it's easier. And thank you. I think that's all. And this is still 7:32 in Indonesian time. So it's very well done. For all the best for Bhinneka Toastmaster Club. Back to you. Oh no, I have to pass the control to the ballot counter.
Okay, so as a ballot counter, it is my duty to announce the winner of the favorite speakers of the day. So let's start with the default one. Congratulations, Jason, the best evaluator. Woo, 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 woo. My good friend Rendra, would you mind?
Yeah, wait. I would like to pin Jason. Jason, where's Jason? Okay, Jason, pin first. Okay, cool. Wait, I'll take photos of you. Wait a minute. It is ready now. 3 and 2 and 1. Okay. The next Prime Ministers of Malaysian Federation. Cool. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Rendra. And then the next one, the best speaker, it's a very, very tight vote. Only one vote difference. So congratulations, best speaker to Keisha Klein.
Hey, congratulations, Keisha. Wait a minute. I have to post as well. I have to pin Keisha. Pin Keisha. Pin, okay, pin already. Pin, cool. Now, 3 and 2 and 1. Yeah, the next governor of East Java is on board, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
Cool.
last but not least, it's me, the best table talk. Okay, thank you, everyone. Please be assured that I have not voted as well. So it's all from you. No corruption.
Okay, cool. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have to remove pin and now pin Natalie. Wait a minute, Nat. I have to pin you first. Okay, cool. This is the governor of Bali. Wow, we have all the leaders on board now. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Super. Done. Thank you, Nat.
Thank you, Rendra, the leader of
You're
Garda.
welcome.
Okay, so now I would like to hand over the control of virtual stage to the Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Intan, to say her last few words as the TOM.
Okay, not the last word, yeah, Natalie. I'm so shocked. So what is your last word, Intan? I want to eat tteokbokki. Thank you so much, everyone, for the wonderful meetings, for the inferiors, for all the role takers. And now I would like to call our acting president, the PPPR, Nancy Afi, to close today's meeting. The stage floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, our Toastmaster Intan. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Nancy.
I am Nancy as the VPPR of Bhinneka Online Toastmaster. Thank you very much for joining our meeting tonight. We have a lot of people joining us. It is a great number, 13 people, and all the roles are filled well, and the meeting was running really, really well. And thank you for visiting our meeting. Now I would like to, since we have some new people with us, so I would like to give a chance to get to know each other since we didn't, we didn't introduce ourselves at the beginning. So let's just say, Guest Veronica, are you there? Do you want to speak? Okay. I think guest Veronica is not with us. So moving on, I would like to ask the comments from another Toastmaster about our meeting tonight. So I would like to ask Toastmaster Jason to give your comments or feedbacks about our meetings.
Gladly. Firstly, thank you for having me. The last time I was in Toastmasters, that's from Indonesia, was like during COVID. So good to see fellow Indonesians still very high energy, very passionate about your public speaking. And I enjoy myself greatly tonight. Thank you, Natalie, for inviting me. Yeah. And I look one day to visit you all physically in your club. Yeah, hopefully. And yeah, and that's all for me. I enjoy myself. Great done. Great job. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Jason. Let's hear another comment from our beloved accountant, Toastmaster Jenny. How is the meeting tonight?
Hello, thank you. And thank you, Natalie, for inviting me. This is my first time and I'm so happy to see all of you. Usually only on the Instagram I can see the faces. And also DTM Alicia, I heard your names a lot. And I'm so happy can see you finally here. And all of you, of course. This is a really nice meeting. As I mentioned again before, I learned a lot from this meeting and from your evaluator, from the role takers, and everything. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jenny, for joining us. We're happy to have you here with us too. Well, moving on, let's hear from, okay, Toastmaster Yvonne.
Thank you. Sorry, I got the timing wrong because the conversion was wrong. I suppose the Bali this club is the same as the Jakarta, so I was later 1 hour. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, but thank you so much for joining us, even though it's already in the middle of the meeting. We're so happy to have you. Well, moving on, do we have more new people that join us for the first time? Toastmaster Alicia, do you have few words for our meeting?
I would love to know what you guys are saying about me in these group chats or whatever the hell, and because I've had 3 people now say tonight something about me. Thank you for the compliments. I do appreciate it greatly and dearly. I find it hilarious that I am like some like random stranger celebrity from the other side of the world, but I enjoyed coming to tonight's meeting. Yes, Natalie. Yeah. Definitely. I enjoyed coming to tonight's meeting and being the grammarian and playing mother hen on the English language. I sound like a dictionary, actually. I'll be honest with you. In one of the clubs in Hawaii, because I became too obsessed and OCD with the English language, and it was clashing with the local language of the pidgin, because they also speak pidgin English and I can speak pidgin English as well. It's a weird thing. They were like, oh, we can't handle it because you correct everything. You correct everything. So I got banned from being the arcana and grammarian. But at least I can come to the non-native English speaking countries and I can go on fire. Yeah, absolutely. It's down in the hood. So I will just continue being the ESL Queen Master of English. So it's all good. It's very, just as a heads up, it's very interesting because Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore all speak Bahasa, but you know, the different dialects. It's really interesting to listen to the different enunciations and pronunciations of English language between the different Bahasa speakers, because Malaysians actually enunciate their words because they do speak English. Majority of them do speak English as well as the second language, whereas the Indonesians don't enunciate the last sounding a bit of the sound of the word, so with the consonants at the end of the word. So it's really interesting. Maybe I'm gonna have to go on a whole research thing on this with the k, d, with the heavy sounding words that have emphasis at the end. So that's really interesting. That's my next goal, working out why, how, what, when, where, and why. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alicia. We still have 2 people for the comments. Moving on to our general evaluator, even though Toastmaster Mala already evaluate our meeting, but probably you have some more comments to be added.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy. Actually, Sunday is the hardest time for me to join Toastmaster meeting. Either because tomorrow is Monday, and also this one is like the rest day for family time. But I'm happy to be here, even though maybe not too often to join Toastmaster during weekend. But I got a lot of takeaways. Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy, and also Bhinneka Toastmaster Club.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Mala. Last but not least, our the ones that who always attend our meeting, Toastmaster Apri from Malang Toastmaster Club.
Hey, Sapi, make something news.
Okay, what should I say? Actually, I already hear a couple of times. I think the quality is getting better compared to the previous one because I address a lot of people from different background, especially for the advanced speaker. I really like make this meeting feel really educative in my experience. And also, yeah, I think it's really good meeting, really smooth, and I have a lot of knowledge I can gain, especially for the speaker. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Apri. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the great comments. Now I would like to announce that the upcoming schedule for Bhinneka meeting will be on the first Sunday of November next month. If you want to join our meeting, you can check on our Instagram, or we will also send in the big group chat. The time is 6 p.m. GMT 7. And with that, I would like to say once again, thank you to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for having fun together, spending your weekend with us. And with that, I would like to close our meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, our Bhinneka new leaders.